Look around you. The world is loud. Opinions everywhere. Pressure. Expectations. Noise. But you, yes, you were not born to be an echo. You were born to be a voice. There is something sacred about struggle. It's easy to feel forgotten in the middle of your pain. But here's the truth no one told you. Your pain is not punishment, it is preparation. Life doesn't test the weak to break them, it tests the strong to reveal them. So if you're being tested, it's because there's something in you the world hasn't seen yet. You don't need another motivational quote to save you. You need to rise, not tomorrow. Now, discipline is not a punishment, it's a love letter to your future. Stop waiting to feel like it. Stop waiting for the right time. The right time doesn't arrive. You create it. Greatness isn't built on excitement, it's built on consistency. Waking up and doing what's right, especially when you feel nothing. You're not here by accident. And no, the world isn't against you, but it will challenge you. And that's how the divine works. It will stretch you until you stop playing small. You're not supposed to blend in, you're supposed to break the mold. Talk less, listen more. Observe deeply. There's wisdom hiding in stillness. While others are loud in fear, be silent in strength in strength. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Just be so grounded in truth that their noise doesn't shake you. Let go of your need to be liked. Approval is the enemy of purpose. You will be misunderstood, overlooked, questioned. Let them walk alone. The crowd doesn't lead the brave. Just lead the brave. The brave lead the crowd. Real success, it starts quietly when you keep your word, when you choose kindness, when you show up even when no one's watching. It's built in prayer, in tears, in sacrifice. It's born when you decide that your peace matters more than their praise. Don't wait for evidence to believe in yourself. That's not faith, that's fear in disguise. Move before you feel ready. The path reveals itself after you take the step. The truth, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be committed. The world is desperate for light. Be the one who walks into the darkness and carries it. This is your time. Not next year, not next month. Now. You don't need permission. You need conviction. Pain often arrives uninvited. It disrupts, unsettles, and questions everything you once believed was secure. In the moment, it feels cruel, unfair, and meaningless. But what if it's not? What if it's not? What if the very thing you're trying to escape is the very thing designed to elevate you? Pain is not a mistake. It is a messenger. It doesn't show up to break you, but to break something within you. Pride, comfort, illusions, or the need for control. Pain has a purpose even when you can't see it. Especially when you can't see it. Especially when you can't see it. It carves out the parts of you that were never meant to stay. It chisels you into the version of yourself that your destiny requires. Think about it. Every person you admire has walked through something they thought would destroy them. And yet, they came out of it not just alive, but transformed. Stronger, sharper, wiser. That wasn't a coincidence, that was purpose disguised as hardship. Growth never comes from ease. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is refined through fire, and so are you. The depth of your pain reveals the height of your potential. The more intense the storm, the more powerful the calling. Some lessons can't be taught in comfort. They must be lived through chaos, through loss, through betrayal, through disappointment. That's where true character is born, not when everything is going your way, but when nothing is and you still refuse to quit. Pain will not last forever, but the version of you that emerges from it will. That's the real reward. Because pain will stretch your vision, deepen your empathy, and teach you to stand on your own feet. It forces you to ask bigger questions. It introduces you to silence. And in that silence, you meet yourself. Maybe for the first time. Don't curse your pain, study it. Listen to it. Let it guide you. Listen to it. Let it guide you. Let it humble you. It's not your enemy, it's your awakening. The world may see your suffering, but the divine sees your becoming. And there is a sacred kind of beauty in that. When you understand this, you stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this trying to build in me? That question changes everything because the answer will always point to your higher self. Motivation feels good, but it's unreliable, it's fleeting. It shows up when things are exciting, when the mood is right, when the outcome feels close. But the truth is, anything worth building, anything that carries real value, requires something far stronger than motivation. It demands discipline. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't wait for inspiration. It shows up anyway. When you're tired, when it's inconvenient, when no one is watching, motivation might get you started, but only discipline will take you to the finish line. Because motivation is driven by emotion, and emotions are unstable. Discipline is driven by purpose, and purpose doesn't change with the weather. Every time you choose discipline, you cast a vote for the person you are becoming. It's not about huge heroic acts. It's about quiet decisions repeated daily, getting up early when you'd rather sleep, saying no when it's easier to say yes, doing what's necessary even when nobody is clapping for you for cheer. That's where greatness is born, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows, in the silent hours of unnoticed effort. People often wait to feel ready before they begin. But discipline doesn't wait for readiness, it leads. It trains the mind to act beyond excuses. It tells your doubt, I'm going anyway. And the more you exercise discipline, the stronger it becomes. Like a muscle, it grows with resistance, and eventually it becomes who you are, not just what you do. You won't always feel like it, and that's okay. The power lies in doing it anyway. That's what separates those who dream from those who execute. Dreams don't work without discipline, they remain ideas, untouched, unfulfilled. Discipline turns vision into reality. It is the daily act of choosing who you want most over what you want now. It's easy to chase feelings. But real change begins when you stop needing to feel motivated, when you stop negotiating with laziness, when you stop explaining your inaction with tired stories. Discipline demands more. And in return, it gives you more clarity, more strength, more results, more results. So don't wait for motivation to arrive, it's unreliable. Build discipline instead. Let it guide your habits, shape your identity, and carry you forward long after the mood is gone. Because the life you're meant to live won't be built on feelings, it will be built on decisions. There is a reason you are breathing today, a reason your heart still beats and your feet still move. You may not see it right now, but your life carries a weight, a meaning far beyond what you've been told or what you believe in this moment. You are not here by accident. There is nothing random about your presence on this earth. The timing of your birth, your story, your struggles, your strengths, they all align for something specific, something divine. You were not sent into this world to simply exist, to pass time, to meet expectations, and then fade away. No, you were sent with a purpose encoded into your soul before you ever arrived. Every gift you carry, every flaw you fight, even the wounds you've endured, they all form a pattern, a calling. The world may try to convince you otherwise. It may reduce your existence to numbers, roles, or expectations. But deep inside, you know better. There's a voice that whispers when everything else is quiet. You are made for more. That whisper is not your imagination, it's your truth. The people who've hurt you, the moments that broke you, the detours that confused you, none of them cancel your purpose. In fact, they are often part of it. Life doesn't waste pain, it repurposes it. Every hardship, every delay, every disappointment, if you let it, will push you closer to who you're meant to become. You are not a mistake. Not your personality, not your background, not your timing. Everything about you has been intentionally designed to meet a need in this world that only you can meet. That is why comparison is poison. You were never meant to replicate someone else's path. Yours is sacred, unique, necessary. So stop shrinking. Stop doubting. Stop doubting. Stop waiting for someone else to validate what was already placed inside you. Your existence is your permission. Your breath is proof that your assignment is not complete. You're here because the world needs something only you can bring, a voice, a light, a shift, a shift. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present and willing. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to rise, to awaken others simply by walking in the fullness of who you are. In a world that constantly demands noise, silence is often misunderstood. We've been conditioned to speak, to react, to prove, to defend. But silence is not weakness, it is mastery. It's not the absence of thought, but the presence of control. It takes strength to hold your tongue when others are careless with theirs. It takes wisdom to observe when others rush to respond. Silence is power, not because it lacks a voice, but because it chooses when to use it. There is something sacred about restraint. The most powerful individuals are not the loudest in the room, but the ones who can sit in chaos and still remain centered. They don't speak to impress, they speak to impact. And sometimes the most impactful thing you can do is say nothing at all. In silence, you hear more, you see more. You begin to understand the hidden layers behind words and actions. You develop clarity not just about others, but about yourself. Silence teaches you patience. It invites you to pause before reacting, to gather wisdom before speaking. Reaction is easy, anyone can do it. But response that comes from silence is intentional. It's grounded, it holds weight. Because not every opinion deserves a reply, and not every battle is yours to fight. The energy you waste trying to be heard is often better used building your strength in quiet. In silence, you remember who you are. Away from the noise, the comparisons, the expectations, there is peace, there is alignment. You start to realize that your value doesn't come from how often you're seen or how loudly you're heard. It comes from what you carry within. And what you carry is far too precious to be thrown into empty debates or shallow approval. Silence isn't hiding, it's sharpening. It's where your thoughts settle and your vision becomes clear. It's where you prepare, where you build, where you become. Where you become. And when you finally do speak, your words are deliberate. They cut through the noise, not because they're louder, but because they're rooted in truth. So don't fear silence. Embrace it. Practice it. Let it become your strength. Because those who are anchored in silence are never easily shaken. They don't need attention to feel worthy. They already know their presence speaks louder than words ever could. Real success doesn't begin with applause, titles, or wealth. It begins in the quiet places no one sees. It begins within you. What the world calls success, fame, money, recognition is only the outer result of something much deeper and more personal. True success is built from the inside out. If you don't master the internal, no amount of external achievement will bring peace or fulfillment. You may look accomplished on the outside, but if you're anxious, bitter, or insecure on the inside, that success will collapse the moment things get hard. Everything you build outwardly is a reflection of what you've cultivated inwardly. Integrity, discipline, patience, gratitude. These are not just nice traits, they are the foundation of a successful life. Without them, success becomes fragile. Anyone can chase results, but few build the kind of character that can sustain those results. And that's the difference. The outer world will test you, challenge you, and sometimes praise you for the wrong things. But if your inner world is solid, if you know who you are, what you value, and why you're doing what you do, then no external pressure can shake you. You have to learn to succeed in silence first, to win the battles in your own mind, to overcome doubt, comparison, fear, and laziness. These victories don't come with awards or likes or attention, but they are the ones that matter most. They prepare you, they shape you into someone who can carry success with grace without losing yourself in it. There are people who have everything on paper but feel empty inside. Why? Because they built the outside and ignored the inside. Real success is peace, it's clarity. It's knowing that your work, your relationships, and your choices are aligned with your truth. It's not about being better than others, it's about being better than you were yesterday. That kind of success can't be bought or faked. It's lived daily, quietly. When you prioritize the inner, the outer follows. Not always instantly, but always inevitably. Because you'll make better decisions, attract better opportunities, and carry a presence that cannot be manufactured. So stop chasing the surface, start cultivating the core. That's where real lasting success is born. And once it's built inside you, no one can take it away. One of the greatest freedoms you will ever experience is learning to live without needing approval. For many, approval becomes a silent addiction, a craving for validation disguised as connection. We mold ourselves to fit expectations, seek applause to feel worthy, and wait for others to agree before we believe in our own value. But here's the truth: approval is a moving target. It changes with moods, opinions, and trends. Build your identity on it, and you'll forever feel unstable. Detach from it, and you'll discover who you really are. The need to be liked can silence your voice. It can lead you to betray your own truth just to be accepted. But no matter how much you bend, not everyone will understand you. Not everyone is meant to. Not everyone is meant to. The more you grow, the more your presence will challenge the comfort zones of others. And that's okay. You weren't born to be agreeable, you were born to be authentic. Approval might get you liked, but authenticity will help you sleep at night. It will connect you with people who see you, not a version of you crafted for applause. When you detach from approval, you take back your power. You stop performing. You stop editing yourself to be more acceptable. You start showing up honestly, even when it's uncomfortable. And in that space, real strength is born because it takes courage to be disliked. It takes self respect to say, This is who I am. Even if it doesn't earn you a round of applause, your calling will often lead you away from the crowd. Your convictions won't always make you popular. But popularity is not a sign of purpose. Purpose is quiet. It walks alone before it leads many. When you stop living for approval, you make room for peace, for clarity, for alignment with something deeper than opinions. Approval is temporary. It's based on what others see, not what you carry within. But your value was never meant to be measured by applause. It was meant to be rooted in truth, in vision, in something eternal. So release the need to be liked. Release the need to be understood. Walk your path boldly. Because the people meant for you will never require you to shrink just to fit their comfort. Faith is not about certainty, it's about movement. It's the decision to act when nothing makes sense yet, when the outcome is unclear and the odds are stacked against you. It's easy to move when you have evidence. It's easy to take steps when you have proof. But real faith moves first. First, it doesn't wait for the stars to align. It doesn't wait for guarantees or applause or signs. It moves because the vision is stronger than the fear. Every breakthrough begins with someone who dared to step without knowing what would catch them. That's the essence of faith. It leads you out of comfort and into the unknown, not because the unknown is easy, but because your calling is bigger than your craving for safety. And if you're waiting for proof before you act, you're not operating from faith. You're negotiating with fear. The truth is, evidence always comes after obedience. You show up, and then the doors open. You speak up, and then the right ears hear you. You invest, and then the growth begins. The pattern of life, of divine principle, is that faith sets the foundation and evidence follows in response. That's why some people live stuck. They're waiting for the feeling before they take the step. But faith is a choice, not a feeling. It's the courage to say, even if I don't see it yet, I believe something is being built beneath the surface. Faith is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's what allows you to keep walking even when nothing around you looks like progress. It's what gives you the strength to sow seeds in seasons of silence. Because you know the silence won't last forever. The results will come, the doors will open, the evidence will appear. The evidence will appear. But only after you've proven you trust the process enough to walk without it. And that's where the transformation happens, not just in what you gain, but in who you become. Every step of faith shapes you into someone stronger, clearer, and more grounded. So don't wait for signs, be the sign. Don't wait for evidence, be the evidence, move first, trust the unseen, and let your actions echo what your eyes cannot yet see.